How do you handle negative reviews and feedback online?
Carefully. All right, Blue Collar Millionaires, we're back and we are answering more of your questions that submitted on Blue Collar Millionaire Facebook group. If a business makes 100,000 profit a month, but at the end of the year they show a profit of zero, is the business profitable and how did they do it?
If you're buying that business, they're buying that business at an 8x multiple of EBITDA. It's 8 times 100.
Yeah.
So you're fighting over 800 grand.
Entrepreneurs that are successful respect other hustlers.
When I see somebody saying, hey, sorry this happened and all this, it's like a mulligan. You give a couple and you see 100 reviews and there are 4.8. I say, okay, there's always 3 people. There's always 3 Karens.
America's backbone was built on blue-collar business grit, grind, and muscle. This is where you stop working for the business, and the business starts working for you.
I've got Kyle here. He said, if a business makes 100,000 profit a month, but at the end of the year they show a profit of zero, is the business profitable and how did they do it?
Well, that would mean they made $1.2 million in profit that year. So to get rid of all that profit on the books would be very difficult to do. So I don't believe they did that. I believe they told them that. But when there's lots of ways people are going to start writing all kinds of stuff off, buying equipment, disbursements are still going to go through as profit. But companies that a lot of people, they're so afraid of paying taxes. They want to try to write everything off and go buy an SUV they don't need and all these different tax straps. But when you go to sell that business, they're going to go back at least the last 3 years. I'll tell you what private equity just did to me. 5 years, went back, tax returns, profit and loss, went through EBITDA, wanted to know every different thing, and then I had to defend all of my ad backs. So
what are ad backs?
Ad backs are, we'll call them like they're legitimate business expenses, but expenses that they won't have to take on. So your phone bill.
They go away when you
go. If you have a company car, but it's really like your car, you're driving it around and it's not a van for the business. They don't need that. So that would go as an ad back, but you are writing it off. If you were writing off health insurance for you and your wife and not your wife, or if you were paying your wife a salary and she's not working and doing anything, that's the key. They have to actually not be doing anything. Right. So they'll want to fight with you because say you get $100,000 in ad backs, you want $200,000 and they want to give you $100,000. There's $100,000 difference. If you're buying that business, they're buying that business at an 8x multiple of EBITDA. It's 8 times 100.
Yeah.
So you're fighting over 800 grand. So you need to have your ducks lined up. If you have no profit, I mean, you're not selling that for much of anything.
First, I also think that you're going to be audited eventually. You just haven't been audited yet. I mean, because you're writing off stuff that's not legitimate write-offs.
Right.
So every time you go out to dinner, the groceries you're buying, the vehicles that you're driving for personal use, the vacations that you're going on that you never had any business conversation or meeting done on, when you start stacking all of that in, then yes, you can start to see. Now, again, I don't know how they get it to zero, but there you can really knock a ton of that down when you show that. And then you could go on a buying spree. Maybe you did buy a bunch of different pieces of equipment to change out the old equipment. So you can get it really low, but the reality of is I think most business owners write off more than what is legitimate. And if they were ever audited, they would be paying some money back in penalties. With penalties. Exactly. So here's another question. Hey guys, I was curious about this today. I'm a construction management student and was wondering if anyone has any internship spots or wanted. So and we'll talk about this even though he's asking a specific question. My future goal is eventually to have my own business, but for the time being, I'm wanting to collect as much knowledge and experience as possible in college and after. I'm in Houston, Texas area. So I love this attitude, Roberto. The fact that you want to go in and get some real life experience to back up your education, because theory is fantastic, but you're really going to start your education when you have application, because they can only teach so much in the textbook and you're only going to absorb so much. So I would start. I would Google. I just Google up the businesses that you think that you might want to work with or for, and contact the operating manager, general manager. You might get in touch with the owner. I would say that you want a company that's probably doing somewhere around 3 million and above in revenue, because they have some established systems that you're going to be able to learn from. Anything below 3 million, they're still building their systems, and it's going to be a little more chaotic. But if you find a business with about 3 million in revenue minimum, then you're going to be able to plug in. And I know if you approached me, matter of fact, I have a kid currently right now that's in college, and he said, I'd go in building science, and I'm looking to get some construction experience. I've never been around the field, and I've got another classmate, and they just seem to be advancing and absorbing so much more because they have that back foundation. And I said, I love it, man. And so he came on part-time, and I've never hired a part-time before, but I like the fact that he was willing to bet on himself and help himself as he was going through college. Entrepreneurs that are successful respect other hustlers. So just show them that you're a young hustler, that you're willing to work, and you don't have to have top dollar for working. Make sure you're not asking for $35 an hour. Don't be ridiculous like that. You're coming in to learn, so come in with an entry-level paycheck expectation.
When we find people who've done really well and had exits, they usually learned from companies that were already big and had systems in place. They didn't learn the wrong way. I was unemployable at that age, so it wasn't going to work for me. Yeah. But I think it's a great way to come in, work for a couple of years, learn a lot of stuff, and then apply it to what you're doing. I got one. This is a good one for you. How do you handle negative reviews and feedback online?
Carefully. So, I always, anytime I get something negative, I'm going to respond very quickly. When it's online, that is when I'm going to make a statement that says, Mr. Joe Smith, thank you for letting us know. It's very unfortunate that this slipped through the cracks. I'm going to be reaching out to you so that we can make this right. And we will do everything to our ability to make sure that we can turn this back around for you. And we learn from our mistakes. We're definitely not perfect, but we're glad that we were made aware of it so we can make it right, even though it was stuck online. Now, what that tells me, if I was a consumer reading through that review, is that that company is willing to do something to try to make it right, compared to the excuse game or saying it's not their fault or just ignoring it completely. So address it. If you leave it hanging there, then everybody starts assuming. And then what is that? Makes an ass of you and me, right? Assuming. So don't let them assume. Make sure that you address the statement and you always empathize. Acknowledge their pain, empathize with them, and then tell them that you're going to the best of your ability, try to make it right. And then you reach out to that customer and you try to do so.
Yeah. I'd say get to them before they get to the reviews.
If
you're following up on people, you should know that's the time, and then you fix it, make sure it's right. But when I read, everybody reads reviews when they're going to hire somebody. If I see things like somebody talking about he took money or he didn't finish a job or he goes and then they don't reply to it, it's a wrap. I just assume it's true then. But when I see somebody saying, hey, sorry this happened and all this, it's like a mulligan. You give a couple. And you see 100 reviews and there are 4.8, I say, okay, there's always 3 people. There's always 3 Karens.
Yeah. Take the humble road, empathize, don't accept fault online, and just acknowledge that you will do whatever it takes to make it right if you were at fault.
Here's one. How do you respectfully decline a potential project someone reached out about? You don't want to do the job, but you don't want to be a jerk or thing. This happens to everybody. I don't have any problem doing it. I just say, hey, that's not something you do. I might have somebody I can connect you with, or if I do, hey, I have somebody. But people ask this all the time because I'm so specific and niche with the gutter cleaning. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do roof cleaning. I didn't want to do roof repairs. I would just tell them, hey, that's not what we do. We're dialed into what we're doing. But this is.
What if it's a customer that is in your niche and they're just a problem customer and you know about that? You've had a conversation and you're like, hey, this is not my customer avatar. How do you handle that?
I would tell them too. I used to do that. I read a book in the 90s and it was about firing 5% of your customers every year. So you can automatically grow 10. Basically, the book was about, or the chapter was about, when you fire 5%, you'll have so much free time, you'll automatically get 10%. I thought it was wild. I started doing it. I did it every year. I had like 151 customers. I used to get rid of 7 or 8, and you're free.
Yeah.
So you could tell people, hey, I don't think I'm the best fit for you. I think somebody else is. I tell people in blue collar when they're negative, I'll sometimes send them a message. I don't think this is a good group for you. You're better off on one of the negative ones. Go over there. Of course.
The another suggestion is throw it in Chat GPT. Man, yeah, there's a free account. You don't even have to have the $20 account and say, look, here's the customer, here's the situation. I don't want to deal with this customer. How do I politely excuse them and not have to work for them? And it'll give you a very politically correct response so that you can.
And if you don't like it, say, give me 3 more.
Yeah, exactly.
And pick one.
Let the computer tell you with all knowing knowledge. So y'all keep submitting. Here's something I want to give some advice on the community. Ask good questions. And what I mean by asking good questions is think about questions that will allow other people as well need those answers. So ask the questions that you think other people would be asking. Don't try to self-promote. You're going to get kicked out of the group, and you're never going to. Your question and your promotion is not going to hit the group fee. So get on there. Don't ask questions that's specific to a certain area. Hey, is there anybody in Dallas, Texas? We have over 200,000 members across the nation, and that is not the best type of. That's not the best type of post for us to drop into the group that will benefit everyone from the group. But now if you would ask an industry type question, that would be more beneficial because it's not locked geographically. So just a few suggestions so that you can get your post through and you can get your answers. If you want closer and quicker feedback loops, then check out bluecollarmillionaire.net. This is where we have our boardroom elite. Me and Kevin are on a call every single Thursday with the entrepreneurs in that group. And these are entrepreneurs at every different level. Some are doing a little over $1 million in revenue. Some are doing, over 10 million in revenue, multiple employees, just a few employees. There's a large gamut, and you're going to be able to get feedback on whatever stage that you're at. We open our playbooks. We invest with those people that are inside of that group because we get to see their track record and we see they're willing to invest in their education. This is how we got into windshield business. It was 2 individuals that were in Boardroom Elite, and we saw their effort, we saw their discipline, and we said, absolutely, we'll back them with some money. And now that's going to be a life-changing business.
Or be the biggest business we all get involved in.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys on next podcast next week.